Given the fact that, at the time, it made such a big splash and helped to alter the picture of what people could expect from an RPG, choosing to make a game that bears some similarities to Undertale isn't a bad idea. Of course, the trick is to figure out how to borrow some of its elements in some way while still distinguishing yourself from it. And that isn't a task all developers are up to. But considering Faye Falling's tragic central story, or simply its distinctive overall style of play, in this case it thankfully feels like it has carved out a space all its own. In terms of the elements that do bear some similarities to the aforementioned hit, the game's more simplistic visual style and general approach to handling combat in a way that keeps it engaging do feel familiar. That said, being similar isn't the same as being a carbon copy, and while some of the differences may be relatively small, the game experience does stand on its own as a whole. The minor differences in the class you choose up front may not carry too much overall weight, but for the most part it's just a nice touch to add to the feeling of making the experience more your own. Another difference concerns something I've been quite sensitive to in games, and that has to do with the game's focus on mental health and revolving around self-harm. Thankfully, it handles the topic carefully and with more respect than on average, though I would warn that some people may feel too close to some of its themes and could want to steer clear. Throw in boss fights that feel unique, refreshing, and sometimes challenging, and the game takes you on a pretty emotional journey that feels like it manages to tie everything together pretty admirably. More than merely a clone latching onto a trend, Faye Falling manages to establish an identity for itself as well. Overall, my final score for the game ended up being at 8.2. And if you're interested in picking it up, it's currently available on the Switch eShop for $7.99. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this review. And if you'd like more information or ideas of indie games worth checking out on the Switch or the Switch 2, be sure to click on the link provided in the description. Until next time,